Thanks, Brother Jason, and thank you for the reasonable level of applause. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Happy to help.
My story is out of Ohio. Columbus, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says he has decided to accept that Ohioans have voted to legalize recreational marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like he's not happy about it.
Man.
But he's calling on legislators to make changes to the law before it goes into effect on December 7th. My recommendation to the General Assembly is that they take action to make sure that both rights are protected, DeWine said Thursday morning to a group of reporters during his first remarks about Tuesday's election. People have a right to smoke it. People have a right to consume it. That's also everybody else who doesn't choose to do so. They should be protected with their rights as well. Our goal will be to make sure they are protected from advertising. Children, are protected from advertising in regard to marijuana. This sounds harkens back to our first story, eh? We want to do everything within our power to reduce the number of inadvertent consumption of gummy bears, cookies, and other products, it says it, that have marijuana. Last year, a 10-year-old Upper Arlington, Ohio elementary student mistakenly brought her dad's edible marijuana gummies to school and shared them with other students during lunch, at which point the Grateful Dead reformed and they had a beautiful party. No, everybody went to the hospital because they all freaked out, but everybody was fine. Mike DeWine says he feels obligated to protect adults who don't want to inhale or smell marijuana when they are walking around. Fair enough. They make a choice not to use marijuana. They should be protected from being in a place where they have to deal with that. DeWine also wants to reduce the number of drivers under the influence of marijuana. Issue 2 is an initiative. This seems like it's out of order. Pardon me, you guys. I did a poor job of editing my story today. I would hope in December. So they want to reduce the amount of high drivers, but they don't quite say how. So we'll go back to that. Mike says he hopes when December 7th comes and goes, it will be able to inform the people of the state exactly how this program will roll out. I think it would be good if that it was all done by the 7th. We're not in a situation of taking something away from the people or backwards negotiating it like New York or California. DeWine said he has a Monday morning meeting scheduled with Ohio House Speaker Jason Stevens and Ohio Senate President Matt Huffman, two Republicans who were quick to hint at making changes to Issue 2 after the race was called. Now is the time for the legislature to lead on how to best allocate tax revenues while responsibly regulating the industry, Stevens said in a statement. Huffman said lawmakers may clarify language regarding limits for THC and tax rates, as well as other parts of the statute. You know, to me, this just sounds like their own cultural hesitancy at an issue that they're not into, that their own polity has approved. We'll see how it goes in the coming months. Matthew St. Germain on a Monday for the High at 9 News. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Man, he does not sound happy at all, Matthew.
Oh.
He sounds a little disgruntled over this. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make sure that the legislature makes some difficult as
Republican
possible.
or Democrat?
Yes, he's a Republican. Sorry if
yes,
the
they
story
have a
didn't say
hard
that.
time with these votes that have already been cast. So I can totally understand why he's trying to, after the fact, trying to insert some additional stuff. I mean, we have a little bit of a history to rely upon in terms of that recent dynamic, don't you think, Jason?
I mean, I did find it extremely funny that now all of a sudden, because his vote passed, he wants to eliminate a lot of the high drivers on the road that all of a sudden just appeared out of nowhere just because this vote passed.
I also think it's funny that he's worried about people smelling cannabis who aren't using cannabis because, to me, we don't get rid of cannabis stigma until it's treated exactly like tobacco. And so if the smell of a cigarette is incredibly intrusive to those that don't smoke cigarettes, unless you have a solution for that, I don't see why you have to worry about the equal impact of the smell of cannabis of being something that people aren't smoking.
Totally agree with you on this so much, Yarrow. I don't think you even know. Yes.
What I think is really interesting about this is this highlights something that's going on. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mandy.
There's so many smells that we smell walking down a street that we don't want to. You know, there's so much.
I'll tell you
what. Terpenes actually heal you.
Any major city, you walk down the street, it smells like urine. Like, it's, come on.
Hold on. Even when I'm walking in my building and I walk by different people's houses, half of the people that cook just don't know how to, and it smells like shit.
Yeah.
Yo, I'd like to talk about something that this highlights, though, if we look, right? Like, Republican politicians tend to be evangelical and religious at a much higher level than the people that they vote for. And what we're seeing is they're really outside on a lot of these issues. What they've done is they've used this fear of brown people and gay people and Democrats and the changing of this idyllic American dream. And they've used the fact that Unions have been crushed. Wages have been destroyed. Houses are now used as an investment opportunity instead of an ability for people to live. And everything has been structured towards corporate wealth and the destruction of the middle class and lower classes. And the Republicans have expertly, deftly used all of those facts on the ground. Somehow they've twisted them to like the gays and the browns are coming to take all your shit away. And what we see in these issues is how out of step they are because they're running this white nationalist, Christian, white supremacist agenda. They're so out of step on cannabis because even though they've mined the fear of their polity of the people that are voting for them, they're completely out of step with them when it comes to personal use issues. And I think that what we're really seeing more and more is the fracturing of the Republican Party. And what I hope to see is more people walking away from the Democratic Party, more people walking away from the Republican Party, and more parties forming that constitute something more in the middle of like, man, I just want to let people be and I want to be let be. And I want corporations to be highly policed so they can't take all of the money out of our community and or toxify and destroy our community. That's what we really should be talking about.
Trump would have to run as an independent then.
I like RFK, and he's polling over 22% right now in a
he
three-way
is crushing
race.
right now. He is doing a lot
the difference
better
between,
right now. He is doing
the difference
a lot
between
better
Trump and
right
RFK is RFK has spent his life as an environmental lawyer working for clean drinking water and healthy human bodies. And Trump has spent his life not paying contractors that did honest work for him and basically making an enemy out of anyone who won't kowtow to him. So if we look at the personal ethics and navigation of those two men, I would say that RFK is by far a better choice as a leader. And while I disagree with him, I think some of his views are completely wacko. What I do see in him is that he has an actual human heart. He cares about the American people. He cares about the people of the earth. He cares about the cleanliness and the wholeness of the earth and the ecology. And we have to remember, you guys, the earth and nature, what that thing we call nature and the environment that people always want to shit on and drive their diesel trucks over, is actually our life support system. And so if we continue to shit on our life support system, it will stop supporting our life. The earth will continue to exist for billions of years, but we may not.
I don't think that Trump can run as an independent because he will still be suckling off of Putin's nipple. So he's always going to be nursing like a little 6-month-old, and Putin's going to be like, I got you. It's okay. Just don't kick me out of Ukraine.
You are so out of touch with reality, but it's going to be okay.
Love the impersonation,
Yes.
though. That was hilarious.
That was
you should do
so
like a
cute.
whole episode as Putin. That'd be really fun.
It was so cute.